live. It's me, Ken Napzok. I think you can hear me. We're testing out ForceCenter Live here on YouTube Vertical. That's right. We are going vertical live. Not for everything going forward. I am sitting here in the ForceCenter studio and getting ready to get the news episode out for all of you tomorrow. Per our normal release schedule, it's me and Joseph this week. Jennifer's out, and we're diving into Andor season 2. We're diving into the Andor season 2 release date is the headline, and also the Simon Kinberg trilogy news. So that's kind of what's going on. But I figured I'd hang out with all of you here live, and we got some folks checking in there. Noah Sparks checking in here. Hi everybody. Leave a comment. Say hello. And we're gonna see. There you go. Gaz Nottingham's here. Oh, now people are there. Hey, hi. Can you hear me? Okay. I don't know. I'm testing new sound. This is a test. This is a test. But yes, it's an impromptu stream. Detective Michael McCarcel is here as well. So that's what's going on tomorrow. I guess I should reset because people are popping in here. Yes, so getting ready for the news. The episode's been recorded. We, as always, go in deeper. We love on the Star Wars news shows to take the headlines and dig like pigs looking for truffles and to find what's there in the story for us. And what we like about the story and what it means. Dare I say the themes of the news stories. So there's some good themes to emerge on what we're covering this week. Andor season two's release and the Simon Kinberg trilogy, which to say right now, I don't want to give away everything we're saying on the full episode. Joseph and I are both kind of in a, I don't know how to describe it. I use the word malaise, but that's not even 100% accurate. It's kind of a wait and see, as with a lot of Star Wars movie news. Just wait and see. Let's let them figure it out. But I think there's some positivity to find in the Kinberg story when you look ahead to Star Wars. This is a trilogy that might come out 21 years after Force Awakens. There's no release date, but Joseph and I kind of fixated on this fictional 2036 release date, mostly for comedy effect, but also when diving into the story. And we discuss the story from that point of view as well. So we got some. If you got questions here now, ask away. Daniel Ratcliffe's here. Noah Sparks has a question. Did you ever expect Andor to come to us as soon as April? No, I didn't. I thought. I mean, obviously 2025. I could have thought. I could have been convinced, I should say, that it would have come even earlier in the year. But as we discuss on the show tomorrow, that's coming out. Like we really love the timing of it. There's some real world implications. Not unlike 2016 and Rogue One. We dive into that. But also, I think I kind of was expecting later in the year, just because we don't know what's coming with Star Wars TV. Skeleton Crew in December, we knew. Uh, that show delayed a year. But with the slate a little more wide open on the Disney Star Wars side, I know Feige just announced stuff on the Marvel side. That, what, 3 shows a year, 2 movies, something like that going forward. But that can all change based on the business. I think they're on a good run with Agatha kind of had a good amount of fans, and maybe that's giving them confidence to go forward. TV shows. Star Wars is a little different, so I may have expected Andor actually to come a little later in the year. To answer your question, any more? Yeah, keep asking questions there. Big Lou says, "How much wood? Okay, Big Lou. By the way, I used Big Lou's barbecue meat rub yesterday on my roasted potatoes. Check out Big Lou's Clubhouse or Big Lou's Workshop and get that meat rub. Thank you for sending that to me, Big Lou. Gaz Nottingham says, I'm hoping the Kinberg movie is Ray sequel era. Do we have any idea what it could be? No idea. There's just absolutely no. This is a kind of out of left field kind of story. I know we addressed some of the rumors about Ray's character being the Obi-Wan Kenobi's. No one really knows right now, and I think they're going to be so far down the line that they're going to serve as a kind of a not reboot is such a bad word, but a new start for a new generation. So a character like Ray, Finn, some of those characters could be in there. I think it's going to be so well past the sequel era that it will serve as Star Wars for Star Wars fans that aren't even born yet, and we go into that more on the show today. So Michael McCarthy says Kinberg doesn't get me particularly excited, but I'm curious to hopefully get some clarification on the potential project. Yeah, I don't think that's going to come for a while. We go into the Kinberg of it all. I think Kinberg has a great track record in Star Wars, and he's got a great track record overall. And I explain, I won't give it away here, but I explain why Dark Phoenix actually gives me some hope if he's at the helm of these projects. Spoiler, it's a sports analogy that I deliver on this show tomorrow. Yeah, Noah Sparks and Cameron Stewart commenting on the Andor release. April's earlier than expected. I'm excited. Noah Sparks aligns with Star Wars Celebration. And that, of course, makes a lot of sense. As of this time, it does not look like we are going to be at Star Wars Celebration Tokyo. Joseph and I were preparing to go. Jennifer wasn't going to be able to make it. So we still have the option to go, though I understand most hotels in the greater Tokyo area are gone, but we do have tickets. But I just don't see us getting to Tokyo this year. Also, that's my birthday, April 19th. So I want to be home. It would be fun to celebrate it with Star Wars fans and friends in Tokyo. It's such a great time in London, and after London, Star Wars Celebration London, I went to Paris for a few days with Grace. So would have gladly liked to have been out there, but probably not looking like it in the carts. And everyone there is going to be getting to see Andor before us. Cad Main says excited for the Andor season 2 deep dive. We are too. We are too. Shadow says happy Veterans Day to all the soldiers in the live stream. I echo that as well. My uncle and father served in the Navy, and my grandfather, as I've told on the show before, was in the Circassian Soviet army, captured, and yeah, a whole lot of stuff there, the history there. So thank you to all that serve and continue to serve and will serve. Cameron says, do you expect any twists in Andor season 2? We know how many of the characters end up, so I'm wondering how they'll shock us. I don't. Yeah, I'm excited for just the amount of Star Wars that's going to be in season 2, and that gets into a debate about how much Star Wars was in season 1 of Andor. I'm not here to have that debate now, but with Krennic and some potential other rebels and those kind of characters showing up. I don't mean Hera and Kanan and those kind of rebels. I mean like rebel Rebel Alliance members. I think there's going to be more Star Wars that will allow us to have some twists. But we'll see. We'll see. Noah says, I asked this to Star Wars Explained, and they said maybe, but do you think there's a possibility of Mando and Grogu releases in December 2025? I don't. I don't. I think it is possible, but not probable, and I just don't think it serves the film well yet. I would love it. Certainly, if they shot all of it with the stagecraft volume, it'd be easier to turn around because that involves a lot more pre-production, which is the benefit of the technology. One of the benefits of the technology. I just think they're going to take their time, and 2026 will be the end date. But hey, if I'm wrong, I'd love to be wrong. Brian Babcock says, I do tell you these repeatedly sources say articles. As far as I'm concerned, it isn't real until it's officially announced, unless it was afterwards, but that's the last headline I saw. Yeah. And in terms of that, I don't know if you're directly speaking about the Kinberg news. We decided to cover it. We try to avoid rumor stories, definitely try to avoid scoop stories on ForceCenter. But sometimes you can't, and sometimes they're fun. And a lot of scoops do come from some truth. We took a deep dive into the Kinberg news because Deadline broke it. Variety kind of confirmed it. Lucasfilm, Disney confirms nor denies, per usual. And that can lead to problems, and that leads to like the fact that I think a lot of people probably think Sean Levy's Star Wars movie is an absolute green light. I don't think it is. I hope to see it. Love to hear and find out what Sean Levy has planned for Star Wars, or what he thinks about a Star Wars story in his, from his perspective and his fandom. But I don't think we're going to get that, at least not anytime soon. The Taika thing is different. It was announced. Taika's taking its time apparently, and we'll see it. And things move and things change, and you all know that. I think our Force Center audience knows that, but I think general fandom, understandably, can kind of get lost by only looking at the headline. So we try to dig in a little deeper on that today. Catching up with questions. Brian's adds, yeah, I think Avatar is slated for December 2025. Yeah, man, you don't want to go up against that. You don't want to mess up Big Jim Cameron. You don't want to do that. Matthew Stokes is here. Says evening all. No, Matthew, it's lunchtime. What are you talking about? It's lunchtime. There's only one time zone, the Pacific time zone. I actually was going to live stream while I was doing some work. I gotta finish some thumbnail work for the episode tomorrow. Yeah, you don't want to distract me from my work. But anyways, this is we're gonna be doing this a lot more here. Just going vertical live. We're also going to be going live more, I think, on Force Center too in 2025 and beyond. Get ready for that. I think is that something you want? Do you want more of these? Do you want more of these things? I'm making a thumbnail. Very exciting stuff right now. Making a thumbnail. Noah says Mando's already going up against Avengers, which could be tough. I think that's going to be very tough. The biggest thing on Mando and Grogu's side for that movie is Grogu. Is Grogu more popular than the Avengers and MCU? Not necessarily, but I'm not underestimating Grogu. Are you going to underestimate Grogu? I don't think so. And Porkin says, serious question: would you rather be a Wookiee or an Anzellan? That's a great question. I'm gonna go Wookiee. Anzellan, you know, I'm not a tall man, but I wouldn't mind some more height. The doctors told me I was going to reach 6 feet, and I didn't. I fell just short of it, so maybe I'm going for that. I'd like a little height. Amaranth says, "Yes, we want more of you." Yeah, we're going to be here more. Jason Habib says, "Hey Ken, what's your most anticipated upcoming Star Wars film or show?" Great question, Jason. Look, this sounds like a cheat. I'm really excited for Skeleton Crew. I'm excited for Skeleton Crew more than I think I was when it was going to be released at the end of last year. It gets pushed because of the strikes and whatnot. I'm really excited for it now. They announced Mick Giacchino for the composer today. Um, I'm not friends with Mick by any stretch of the imagination, but I see him a lot in my social circle, and he's really a great dude, sweet dude. Obviously, his father, Michael, is a talent. Mick is very quiet about his work. He is, just a good. I like being around him when I'm around him. Again, not saying I'm a friend or anything, but I actually saw him a week ago. And I'm really excited for you all to hear what he's got going on. I know he just did the score for the Penguin, and everyone's excited for that. So Mick being involved, Skeleton Crew, it's got youthful energy, I think, in a way, and I think it's the right time, even though Andor is going to be also at the right time for different reasons. But I think this holiday season, when we all kind of need whether you celebrate the holidays or not, but you just want to sit down and catch your breath, and enjoy a fun Star Wars story. Goonies in space, as a lot of people are calling it. What's the Resistance broadcast just announced their review show on it? Galactic Goonies, I think. Lacey and John announced that. I think that's great. Um, I'm looking forward to that. Beyond that, I'm most looking forward to the Ray movie of the announced slate. I'm definitely excited and intrigued about the Mandalorian and Grogu. Definitely enjoy those shows, those characters, but I've always been excited about the possibilities, the potential of what we call the Ray movie or the new Jedi Order film. I just really like everything that's been said by Daisy or Charmin Obed Chinoy about the film. Cameron Stewart, thank you. I'm going to like that for the super chat there. We appreciate that. Brian says, love these live streams. Love these live streams, but I so rarely get to join in. Yeah, well, that's another thing, too. Oh, more of you checking in here. I'm going to get to these. And we're here. We dive deep and get serious, unfortunately. Yeah, more live streams here, Brian. The Friday live streams that we do once a month. Number one, you can see those increase going forward. Joseph, as a lot of you know, is out there in Minnesota making a movie right now. He's making a feature length movie that he's written and now will be directing and producing and editing and scoring and costume designing. He's a one man team right now. He's got a great team with him, but he's out there doing the hard work. So when he comes back and he's settled, and we'll cover Skeleton Crew, but in the new year we're going to be doing, Force Center's not done. 2025 will be our 10th year of existence, but our 11th broadcast season. And we feel we're actually in a place to get even stronger. And we're not done yet. Star Wars and Star Wars fandom and discourse and all that stuff kind of got us all down over the last couple of years. It still gets us down, but I think we've got some renewed energy going forward here to celebrate Star Wars with all of you. BK11648 says, no question. Just want to say thank you to Force Center for me to beacon of positivity in the fandom. Love meeting you in London at Celebration. Hope to meet you in Tokyo next year. Yeah, first of all, love meeting you in London. I had a great time in London. Fond memories of London. Yeah, as I said up top, for those that missed it, we do have tickets to Celebration Tokyo. It just does not look like we're going to be able to get out this year. So we might be selling back them tickets. But we haven't given up hope yet. It's still possible. It's still possible. Big Lou says, I've been in and out here because of work. Have you had a chance to see the John Williams doc yet? I know you've been in and out as well. Yeah. Hey, John Myers. Amaranth ask a. Oh, yeah. 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 I know. Sorry. I'll answer Lou's question. Amaranth is referencing. I've known that Mick Giacchino is the composer of Skeleton Crew for like a year. And I thought it was announced, and I think I almost said it a couple times. That would not have been good. But now it's out, and you can all enjoy Mick Giacchino's work. Big Blue asks, have I seen the John Williams doc yet? I have not. I was trying to save it for, yeah, I don't know. I didn't have time this week. Let's just say that. It's been a week for all of us, for a lot of people. But it's on my watch list. I was gonna watch it tonight. I got to be honest. I was gonna watch it tonight. It's 1:37 in the Pacific, the time of this broadcast. I was going to watch it tonight, but my Miami Dolphins are playing Monday Night Football. They're actually here in LA. I couldn't get out to SoFi Stadium to see them, but I'm going to watch some football tonight. I need some football. I need a win from the Dolphins, Big Lou. Okay, I can't be as lucky as you being a Jacksonville Jaguar fan when you just get wins all the time. I need a Dolphin win, so I'm going to watch that tonight. Then I'll focus on John Williams. Then I'll focus on it. Uh, Yeah, Scantron 33, I agree with you. I love that people are talking about a new trilogy when they've announced two others on stage that they box. I believe it when it goes in photography not before. Yeah, I actually really agree with you on that. That was part of my, Force Center didn't go live on Friday with some let's talk about the Kinberg news. In years past, we might have done that. All three of us just kind of felt like, and I don't mean it negatively, just like let's just get a little more information. It was a perfect time to talk about it today. Ann Porkins, related to the question, their tiebreaker for me, oh, excuse me, the tiebreaker for me is that an Enzella can be squeezed by Grogu. I'd be a tiny Enzella. That little guy gave me hugs. That's a good answer. That's fair as well. Kevin Davis says, concerned that new Star Wars not going to take risks with new TV shows because of the backlash of the Acolyte. I understand. I don't have any. How about this? I don't have any evidence to refute that, other than I can honestly tell you from everything I've heard, the cancellation of the Acolyte was really on the studio side purely business, but that doesn't mean the public backlash didn't factor into the business. It's easy for me to say that and hard for folks out there to believe, but it really was a business decision. And I just I have a social circle that is privy to some of that stuff, and that's a thing I can, as best as I can say. It was a business decision, a bad business decision that I didn't agree with. But I think you'll see some lack of risk taking, but it won't necessarily be because. But the perception will be that, and I don't think that's an incorrect perception. It's a mishmash of it's a mishmash of things. But one of the reasons I really want to make it clear that from my point of view and my perspective and things I've heard, that it was more a pure business decision is I don't want those grifters or those people creating the backlash to think they had unlimited power in the decision. They did not. They had some power and they had some influence, and I will bang that gong too about how that destroys shows. And we can have a larger conversation about it. But I also don't want them to think they have unlimited power. It was an fortunate business decision. That's what I'll say there. Amaranth says, I need the joy of Skeleton Crew, and I'm sure I'll love it. Be staying with my family, and we'll watch it together. Jeffrey Goldsmith here says, cool for all going live more. Ken, always love what you, Jen and Joseph, have to say, whether I agree or not. Force Center serves as an example for treating all Star Wars fans with respect. Well, we like that. We like that. Yeah, it can get pretty heated, especially the last couple of years. I've definitely been more grumpy the last couple of years, and that unfortunately can breed defensiveness, and I understand it. I had a good conversation. I had lunch the other day. I want to shout out Nikki Kumar, if you all know who Nikki is, and Claire and Charlie at the Imperial Senate podcast. I had lunch with Nikki the other day, and we had a good conversation about Andor, or excuse me, about Ahsoka. Ahsoka's like his favorite Star Wars show. It's my least favorite Star Wars show by a country mile. But we didn't grab our chips and salsa and throw it at each other. We talked about the differences and had a great understanding of where we all come. And at the end of the day, I'm always going to side with the people who enjoy things, even when I don't. So we try to bring that energy to Force Center. But really, you all make that possible. You all build that community. Gaz Nottingham says zero chance, but a Ryan Johnson, Simon Kinberg, and Taika Waititi collaboration would be wild. Could we ever see a Star Wars director, writer, producer team up? It's yeah possible. I don't think Ryan Johnson's ever going to return to Star Wars. Not under not in any current circumstances. I address that slightly on the news show tomorrow, which this was a preview, again, a preview of the news show tomorrow. So I don't want to say everything. I just feel that the trilogy that Ryan was announced and I think probably had some work in the bank on. I think it was a consolation prize for losing episode 9. So I don't think there was a lot of forethought to it on both sides. I think it was just a sure. And I just don't see it as an active project and haven't seen it as an active project for a while. So I don't think, but maybe he comes back. I would love Ryan Johnson to direct like an episode of Star Wars TV. I would love that. He obviously has a good pedigree in TV, um, including the Natasha Lyonne show. God, what's the name of that show? I love that show. I watched it and I can't remember. But it's great, and he oversaw that show, directed the episode, obviously Breaking Bad and stuff like that. I'd love George Lucas. I'd love George Lucas to come back and direct an episode of a Star Wars TV show. That's what I would love. So there you go. Bar Snob says, Ken, two things. What's your favorite non-Star Wars content right now? And also, what actor, actress do you want to see in Star Wars that we haven't yet? Take care. Thank you. No, you take care. I'll go to, I always go to the Game of Thrones well. I still would like to see someone like Stephen Delane, Kieran Hines. I would like to see Charles Dance, and I'm picking grumpy old white men there too, but there's other great choices as well. Someone like Jacob Anderson, Natalie Emanuel comes to mind as well. We got Amelia Clark. I would have always been happy with Kit Harington. I always go to that show because it's just to me one of the most perfectly cast and acted shows. And anytime I can get someone from Game of Thrones and Star Wars, I'm happy. And because a lot of them, you do get a lot of crossover in the films because you have the same casting office. I think it's the Nina Gold casting office, so you're going to get a lot of those UK performers that come in. What's my favorite non-Star Wars content right now? The Miami Dolphins. I'm way back into football this year, and so I watch a lot of football right now. But in terms of things outside of that, I don't watch a lot of shows. I watch documentaries. So I'm looking forward to the John Williams one. I just watched the weekend before the election. I watched Stopping the Steal from HBO, which was well done and horrifying and harrowing look at the 2020 election. And that was kind of I'd call it a prequel to the 4 Hours at the Capitol doc. So that's what I do. I like watching a lot of docs like that. That's the answer. I know people want me to say Agatha All Along or Bit Bop and Doop Bop or some kind of weird shit. I don't watch a lot of shows. I play Fortnite and I watch football and then talk about Star Wars. Big Lou says, "Oh, to the Jaguars." Okay, okay. This is man. I gotta. The one thing about going live on vertical, I'm so behind chat. So I'm gonna skip to the bottom here. Oh, you guys got great answers. Todd Roy says hi from Nova Scotia. Ooh, I love that. Charles Dance was born to be intimidating Imperial officers and Borkins. Yes, well, we got in Andor, you got Anton Lesser, who plays Partagaz. Love Anton Lesser. He of course, played Qyburn, who worked with Lena Headey's Cersei Lannister so closely. Love him. He is just amazing. I love watching him chew up scenery. Glad we're going to get him. In fact, we might get Ben Mendelsohn and Anton Lesser in a scene together, arguing about how to oppress people, not impress, is going to be exciting as well. Gaz Nottingham says Rings of Power. Oh, you know what? Actually, thank you. Yeah, to that question, I love the second season of Rings of Power. I love the second season of House of Dragon. I think both seasons, the shows got better. They grew into themselves. They're continuing to grow into themselves. I thankfully do not get caught up in either Tolkien lore. No disrespect to Tolkien lore heads. I think a lot of them, let's just say, I don't agree with them. So therefore, I think I have unfettered access to joy for Rings of Power, and I love the second season. And second season of House of Dragon, I think because they were able to focus on not just the same characters, but the same cast, and the cast was able to gel a little bit better, and it made the story a little bit more cohesive. And I love Fire and Blood. I read Fire and Blood, but I don't remember it, and that's now intentional. I haven't picked up the book. I don't want to go into it. But on Casterly Talk, Alden is now leading a book discussion going forward on House of Dragon. And for those that don't know, I'm the executive producer of Game of Thrones, House of Dragon, Rings of Power, fantasy world. We did reviews on Willow as well. Show called Casterly Talk podcast or YouTube. I'm not on it right now, but I'm going to come back. But Alden Diaz is holding that one down there. Actually, okay. I got to get this thumbnail made. Have to, Todd Roy actually brings up a good point. Have to remember that our favorite Mandalorian actor was a great character in Game of Thrones, Pedro Pascal. Yeah, that's why one day I think Brendan Wayne and Lateef Crowder do such a good job of bringing that character to life on set, and I think Pedro does a great job of bringing that character to life with his voice and heart, perspective, and performances. That's why sometimes I want to see that mask ripped off because I want to see Pedro, who's just an absolutely amazing, amazing actor. David McKay's here. Jorge Castro checking in from Puerto Rico. Love that. Gwen's here as well. Hey, Gwen, good to have you here. A force in our ForceCenter Discord. Um, Michael McCarthy says vertical is definitely off-putting. Yeah, it's like I said, it's just easy for me to go live. Easy for me to go live this way, and we'll live here, and people will find us a little bit more. Cameron Stewart's got a prep for meeting. Love the surprise stream. Looking forward to news. JMB says, makes me yell at the Viper. Finish him. Yes. Yes, I agree. One of the more heart wrenching deaths of a character, even though I knew it was coming. All right, so I got to make this live stream. I got to make this thumbnail and end this live stream, and I got to also act like a grandpa and figure out how. This is the first time I've done vertical live. How do you? Oh, that's the share. I guess I'll just say goodbye. Thanks for watching. Thanks for hanging out. And we'll have that. Oh, John Meyer says, have you all thought about doing a Rebels rewatch? We actually were going to do a Rebels rewatch because we love doing the deep dive of Clone Wars. We were going to do it. I was halfway through my own rewatch to get ahead of it, and then life just got busy. So we'll see. But anyways, all right, I'm gonna do the boomer thing of looking for the thing to press. Thanks for hanging out with me here today. Joseph and Jennifer say hello as well. I'm gonna get the news episode ready for you all to hear it tomorrow or earlier today, wherever you are, and we'll see ya. Bye.